In London, only a select few attended an Armistice Day service in Westminster Abbey. Because of the pandemic, the public was discouraged from gathering at cenotaphs. But as Crystal Goomansingh explains, people still found a way to pay tribute to the fallen by looking to the stars.
The twinkling lights beckon you to click. The stars are stories. Some are brief, sharing only a name. Others include service records.
You can just name a star after them and it appears in this virtual universe that we've created.
By writing the names of veterans in the sky, the Commonwealth War Graves Commission hopes to educate and connect people. Peter Francis was able to accompany two veterans, an 88-year-old and an 81-year-old, on a virtual starry stroll.
And the whoops of joy I got on the other end of the line when they saw the star absolutely made my heart warm, and it just made all of the hard work behind the campaign worthwhile.
This year, people were not only discouraged from gathering in big groups at cenotaphs, many weren't able to even pin on a poppy. Instead, Britons were encouraged to donate online and print one out.
This year we haven't set a target because the environment is just so different. But what we do know is that since the lockdown, since we've had to cancel the face-to-face collections for the first time in 100 years, we know that we will be taking a loss in the realm of millions.
Inside Westminster Abbey, only a handful of people were permitted to attend a service at the grave of the unknown warrior. With England in the middle of another lockdown, the Abbey is closed to visitors. Many had hoped this Armistice Day would be the in-person gathering the nation was deprived of in May. Victory in Europe celebrations were cancelled because of the first lockdown. Still, people are trying to honor all of those who have served and sacrificed.
We're not letting it pass away. That torch of remembrance is still burning brightly and strongly.
Burning and lighting the way to explore the cosmos and learn the name of the stars. Crystal Goomansingh, Global News, London.
Remembrance Day ceremonies are usually a time for veterans to gather together, share stories, and be honored by the public. As Mike Dorlet reports, this year's scaled-back events meant a very different experience for our vets.
Alex Polowin can't help but feel lonely. He's the last of the brave crew of the HMCS Huron, a destroyer that helped clear the English Channel ahead of D-Day. Every Remembrance Day, he's reminded of that fact.
I think I'm about the only man left standing on the last ship that I was on. You know, it's a sad feeling, that knowing that they're all gone.
The reminders of his generation disappearing are far too frequent. Last week, BC's George Chow, who fought both racism at home and the Nazis in Europe, died at the age of 99. They think about their mortality, about the impact they made on this world. And with the pandemic forcing 375 vets to stay inside at Sunnybrook Hospital's Veterans Center in Toronto, they worry mistakes that were made could be repeated.
You have to have friends die in a war to realize what war is all about. And unless you've had that experience, it's hard to believe what the significance of wars are.
The drone of 4 Canadian Harvards cut the silence of a scaled-back Remembrance Day in Toronto. From coast to coast to coast, Canadians were reluctantly urged to stay away. That led to a smallish crowd in Halifax and so few people in Montreal you might miss it if you drove past. Virtual broadcasts like this one in Winnipeg, for all their good intentions, were heartbreaking to see. And while the vets at Sunnybrook could only look out their windows, their view was a glorious sea of Canadian flags. 100 for each of the 375 still there. 37,500 in total.
One veteran told me a story about how his best friend from childhood had gone off to war with him, and his best friend had been killed in battle, and he pointed out to the flags on our lawn and said, "But now he's here with us."
It wasn't the ceremony they deserved, but at least it reminded them we haven't forgotten. Mike Dorlet, Global News, Toronto.